So earlier today, I went and saw Megan Leavey. I went to the movie theaters and saw Megan Leavey. This is a movie. Well, I said if it comes at night, I had not heard anything about. I hadn't heard anything about it, but at the same time, I I never heard what the hell the movie was about or saw anything about it. I had never heard of Megan Leavey until like a week ago. I was like, what the fuck is Megan Leavey? It's coming to Regal. Apparently it's something that's some people know about. And I looked on Rotten Tomatoes, it's getting decent reviews. Alright. So it must be good. As soon as I saw, for some reason I saw a poster of this, I went, oh god, this looks like something that's gonna be a Pureflix film, ain't it? And I said, I'm not fucking seeing another Pureflix film. Case for Christ was it. I was like, oh god, that was my first thought for some reason. Something obscure like this, I was like, this has to be a Pureflix film. And then I was like, oh, it's Kate Mara is in the lead. Alright, so if it's Kate Mara, Pureflix usually just gets D grade actors that are long gone, not relevant anymore. So I mean, it can't be Pureflix. So then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, this is based off a true story about army or marine soldier. It's like, oh, okay. And I was reading more about the story, and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of fascinating with the story. And I actually watched the trailer for it, and I'm like, man, that actually looks pretty good. I was like, I'm actually kind of looking forward to watching this. And like I said, it looks like it's got a decent cast. It's got a lot of it looks like it has a pretty kind of compelling, heartwarming story. I was like, all right. It looks like it's something that after seeing It Comes at Night a couple days ago, I'd be like, this might be a little bit step in the right direction of a heartwarming, uplifting movie, especially after, yesterday was a bad day. I'm a big Cavs fan, wearing my shirt. We lost. Kind of bummed out about that, so I need something to lift me up a little bit. So I'm like, and then like I said, 2 days before that, I fucking saw It Comes at Night, and that was depressing. So I was like, you know what? I want to see something uplifting. And this movie is really goddamn good. I don't know where the hell this came from. This was a really goddamn good movie. I wouldn't be surprised if some people, well, one in particular, get some Oscar nominations come Oscar time. I mean, I know this is so, far into the, we still got so long before the end of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if some acting nominations go out for this thing. This is a really goddamn good movie. It's a really cool story. Kate Mara is fucking great in this thing. Seriously, she should get an Oscar nomination. If I were pretty much, she's the main person I would give a fucking Oscar nomination to. She is really good. She plays a person with PTSD really fucking well. She portrays this character, this real life person, very well. And the shit she goes throughout this whole movie, the emotional roller coaster she takes you through, from her, starting out trying to go into the Marines and training with this dog, and she training with this dog and then growing a bond with this dog and then getting blown up and being separated from the dog and getting horrible PTSD because of it. It's really heart-wrenching. Her performance is really heart-wrenching to watch. Especially towards the last hour of this movie, it was wow, this is some Oscar-worthy shit in this thing. I was like, man, she's pulling off. Man, this movie's. She made me feel I was her performance was making me feel feelings, man. Like I said, he wanted this poor lady just to get her fucking dog back. And like, I was like, just get this poor girl over her dog back, man. Come on. It's a really touching story. I also really like how this movie shows that not just human soldiers get PTSD, dogs do. And that's something I don't think I've ever seen in a movie, like a war movie, where they show like how the war can really affect fucking the mentality of dogs too. Like, and that, it's a touching story about how these dogs grow a close bond with their human companions. If you don't know the story, she was an IED dog handler. Like, her and this dog Rex would go out and sniff for bombs and everything else like that. They were really successful at saving a lot of people's lives, and they grow a close bond. They're both kind of rebellious. Like, he's a really good, like, bomb sniffing dog, but he is really hard to control, and she's kind of this rebellious kind of person that just instead of running away, she joins from home. She just joins the Marine Corps without telling her mom, which is pretty funny. It's kind of fucked up, that scene where her mom calls her while she's on the bus and talks to her right before she's about to get off the bus to boot camp, and the boot camp instructor tells her, "Get the fuck off the phone." That was pretty funny. That was a great scene. But she has this close bond with this dog, and then they get horribly injured, and they get separated, and then she wants to adopt the dog, and then the whole story's online. It's pretty I guess it's a pretty famous story. I got a lot of headlines apparently, and she's spending like the last half trying to get this dog up for bring this dog home for adoption and stuff like that for adoption. It's a really touching story, and like I said, it's basically this dog keeps her calm, her PTSD calm, and they kind of she needs this dog to help her cope with everyday life after war, and it's really touching. And like I said, like the PTSD in the dog is something else. Like I said, like it shows that like it gets scared as soon as it hears a loud bang, and like it starts yelping and barking really loudly and wanting to attack something. It's all. I said it's really something I've never seen portrayed in a movie this well. I thought that was really well done. This movie is pretty intense at times, like the scenes where they're trying to sniff out bombs. There's many times like they're trying to sniff out bombs, and it's like, man, like you just. So I knew the story like going in that they got hurt, so I'm like, I kept sitting there like, oh, when is it coming? When is the bomb gonna go off on them and hurt them? And so like it kind of made it intense to watch. Like, because it's gonna happen some point in this movie, and I'm like, oh, what's it gonna happen? What's it gonna happen? And like, so that kind of made it kind of interesting. Like I said, it's a very heartwarming story, and I like that it kind of told a different story. Like, there's a lot of heroes in different forms, even in canines. What does bomb sniffing dogs do is saves a lot of lives. You can't really discredit them. I really enjoyed them kind of telling a different story that you don't see told all the time with war movies. That was kind of refreshing. Like I said, there are different kinds of heroes in these wars, not just soldiers that go fight out in the battlefield. It's also a lot of different people do a lot of different things, that help save lives. And this is something that like I said, I like. This was a pretty cool story. That it'll make you feel feelings. Like I said, man, it'll tug at your heartstrings. I guarantee you. the scenes where she's reuniting with the dog, like after a while, and where she's trying to fight, like to get the dog, and it's like, oh man, it's some touching stuff, like, or the scene where she first wakes up in the hospital, after getting hurt, and she's trying to find her dog. That's a great scene, really well acted scene. Also has a really goddamn good cast. You got Common, the rapper Common, who continues to impress the hell out of me, like, over the last few years. Like, he's getting better and better and better as an actor. As one of her commanders. And Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy, pops up in this. He's kind of got an American accent, which is kind of funny. But he's not bad in this thing. He's not in this movie a lot, but he's pretty good in this movie. Basically, he's a guy that is a soldier that's a consultant to these people, these dog handlers, telling them that, you know, what he's seen in Iraq and trying to prepare them for what's going to happen when they go over to Iraq. Edie Falco is her mom. You know, Rooney Mara had trouble with drugs and alcohol, and I find that funny. Edie Falco, or Nurse Jackie, is her mom. And that's kind of fun, kind of fucking funny. I did find that funny. Bradley Whitford is her dad. That was kind of nice to see him in a movie where he's not being a white racist asshole like Get Out. I like Bradley Whitford. I'm trying to think who else is in this movie that is noteworthy. It's got a really damn good cast. Everybody in this movie is really good, but Kate Mara's performance is really good. Really goddamn good, a good performance by her. I recommend this movie. Highly recommend this movie. This is definitely a surprise. I did not, like I said, I didn't know anything about it until about a week ago, and I'm really glad I fucking saw that. It was really good. It was a really good movie. I said, it was kind of refreshing to see two really good movies this week. As far as trailers go, I got a few indie trailers. Logan Lucky. This looks kind of fun. So apparently Steven Soderbergh's coming out of retirement. Didn't know that. Cool. He's directing a new movie. The best way I could describe this is that he is trying... It's Steven Soderbergh trying to make what looks like a Coen Brothers movie, if that makes any sense. It seriously feels like this movie was supposed to be made by Coen Brothers, but it's made by Steven Soderbergh instead. It's got Channing Tatum, Daniel Craig doing an American accent, a Southern American accent, which is fucking weird. There's a lot of great actors. I can't remember. I remember Channing Tatum and I remember Daniel Craig, but I'm trying to remember everybody else. And it's about a pair of brothers who try to steal money from a race, NASCAR race or something from what I got out of it. And it looks like a pretty funny comedy. And like there was a big list of names on this movie, and it had like a lot of people, big name actors. I said it looked like it'd be pretty funny. Patty Cakes, yes, that's a real name for a fucking new movie coming out called Patty Cakes. So imagine the movie 8 Mile, but instead of Eminem in the lead, replace him with a big, fat, white girl who wants to become a rapper, and that's what you got with Patty Cakes. I shit you not. That's the plot of this movie. It's stealing the plot of 8 Mile and just it's putting a fat white girl in it. And apparently it's getting decent reviews. went to Sundance. It was like a breakout movie at Sundance. I'm like, well, apparently anything. It looks really fucking stupid. I'm sorry, it looked kind of stupid. I was not. I was like, it's 8 Mile, but if it was a fat white chick in it, it's like it's exactly it. Like, and it's just like this girl, like God bless her, but wasn't convincing, like, as a rapper. Trying to be a gangster rapper or something like that. It was whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise me. It's probably a movie that won't even come to my theater, but who knows? And the last one was American Made. This looks like a movie where Tom Cruise is going to try to get an Oscar. That's the best way I could describe it. It's being directed by what's that guy's the guy who did Born Identity and Edge of Tomorrow. It's about Tom Cruise is a pilot in the 80s or 80s where he's recruited by the CIA, who have him go kind of undercover and like running, like, sounds like money for a drug cartel, and ends up kind of creating one of the most powerful drug cartels or something like that. And it's like, it kind of sounds fascinating, really. It sounds like Tom Cruise is trying to get an Oscar, which I like Tom Cruise. I do like Tom Cruise. As long as he keeps his mouth shut about certain subjects, and he doesn't try to shove Scientology down my throat, I'm fine with him. And like I said, I like like I said, as long as he keeps his mouth shut, I'm cool with him, man. I think he's an awesome actor. I always find him as to be a great actor. So yeah, that looks like it'll be a fun movie. That's as far as trailers go. I'll be back later this week. I know there's like 4 movies coming out, big movies. I don't know what's going to get well received and what isn't. I know Cars 3 and 47 Meters Down. Is it called 47 Meters Down? It's getting some decent reviews. I might get around to seeing those. And they got that Tupac movie and that Rough Night. So yeah, that's what's coming out this week. Until then, I will talk to you guys later.